everyone. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Nita Nay's Books, Author's Point of View. My guest is Macara Curtis, better known as Mac. Her book is titled Not Your Average Granny's Recipe Book. Welcome, Macara.
Hi, my name is Macara, but I go by Mac because
Mhm.
most people don't pronounce my name properly. I was born and raised in Southern California.
Mhm.
I became a mother at 17 and
Okay.
in May of 2020 got promoted to grandmother. So since then, I've been establishing my brand as Not Your Average Granny and working on an online boutique.
Oh,
And,
good.
I've been a professional bartender for 17 years, so I also
Mhm.
have a mobile business.
Oh, okay.
I got a youthful energy. I'm pretty adventurous. I like trying new things. So this first interview is really exciting for
Right.
me. I like being active in the community. And that's it about
Oh,
me.
good. So we are going to get into your recipe book. How did this come about? And how did you come up with the not your average granny?
Well, if you take a good look at me,
Mhm.
most of the time people are very surprised that I have a 22-year-old daughter
Mhm.
and that I'm a grandmother. So that's why I came up with the name Not Your Average Granny.
Okay.
Um, And then, as far as the recipe book, when my grandson was born, I started thinking about my relationship with my grandparents, and I didn't really grow up around them. They were
Mhm.
all deceased by the time I was 7.
Oh,
And so I don't have any pictures or really any memories. And I just didn't want that to be the case with my grandson. So I said, if anything, he is going to learn how to make some mac and cheese because that's really the only thing I know how to make.
okay.
But I also wanted to create this to fill it up and hand it
Mhm.
down to my daughter and to him so they can eat healthy and stay happy. You know,
Oh,
everybody
good.
wants
That's
good, you
great.
know?
That is so great. So tell me a little about your beginning process of starting your writing. What can the audience expect in regards when they purchase the recipe book? What's in the pages? You can give us a little bit. You don't have to give everything because you want to leave some to the imagination of the purchaser.
Right,
So
right.
tell us a little bit about what's in the book and um, what the audience can expect.
Okay. Well, I started off with a brief dedication
Mm-hmm.
and to my daughter and my grandson. And then I go into a prayer and an
Okay.
introduction.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have my creamy mac and cheese recipe. And
Okay.
that's followed by 60 blank pages for people to fill in. So you can expect a glossy cover
Right.
and then an author bio on the back,
Oh,
and then
good.
a spiral binding for that. That lifelong protection so that you can actually hand it down. And it's a
Oh,
product with
good.
meaning.
Oh, good. So, in your process of creating the book, who did your cover, and um, you know, who did the spiral? Was it something that you got done or you created yourself? What was that process like?
So I actually met my good sister Chantalee. She
Mm-hmm.
edited the book for me. And she did all the what do you call the sizing.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the cover, she referred me to Kirk Media,
Mm-hmm.
and he did the cover for me and also the book photography. And for the printing, instead of doing Amazon, which a lot of people are doing these days,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did the self-publishing route and went through copy-based printing in Los Angeles. And so they bound it for me and they print all the copies for me.
Okay. And just to let everybody know, her website and everything will be in the description for you to be able to purchase the cookbook recipe book in there as well. So tell me a little bit about, were there any challenges that you found once you started this process, or did it seem like it was, a simple thing and you got it done and it happened right away? Because it does sometimes happen like that. But sometimes people find that you know they get stuck somewhere, or what
For
what was
sure.
your challenge?
Well, you know, during these times right now, that we have the COVID-19, which is the biggest challenge I think that everybody's facing with trying
Right.
to establish a new business or release a new product or anything. So there were a little bit of delays, I think, with that, but especially now with the marketing, you know, I had planned on doing like local book tours and maybe
Right.
some pop-up shops, you know, because people have to know about your book to buy it. So
Yeah.
that's been a challenge for sure. And then the actual process, you think because it's a blank book, it will be pretty easy.
Right.
But I think we had about 10 or 11 edits.
Okay.
And it wasn't punctuation or anything.
Right, right.
It was the most challenging, I think, was actually designing the recipe page.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just to get enough space for people to actually handwrite the recipe, to make sure that I preserved on costs. I went from color to black and white copy. And then things like the licensing and copyright of images I had no idea about. So you also have to be aware of those things. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
those are the two biggest challenges, I think.
Well, you know, but people, and I'm glad, you know, that you were able to express that, because, you know, people need to know it. It doesn't matter if you're doing indie products, you have to be aware of the copyright issue. You know, if you get your book cover created, you know, that's one thing. But what you put in your book, whether it's a novel, whether it's a devotional, you have to give reference. And so, yeah, all of that's important. So
It is.
tell me, what has been your most interesting or fun aspect of completing this project?
I really enjoyed hearing everybody share their stories with me about how they're using the book. So either I have friends that have bought it to give to their grandmother so that they can fill it in and give back to them so that they can, you know, treasure their family recipes. I know people who bought it for their kids so that they can start learning how to cook and record those. And then I've talked to people who bought it just for themselves so that they can organize their own recipes and kind of put in a vegan format or vegetarian format. So I've just talked to all kind of people who are enjoying the hand-me-down experience and then just being able to record their recipes. So
Oh,
that's
that is great. That is great, and I think that's unique in regards to this your cookbook. It's not just, you know, there's there's a lot of cookbooks out there, but nobody can cook like my mom can cook,
right.
or my grandmama can cook, or, you know, so that's a great aspect of it. So tell me, in regard, do you plan on doing another cookbook, or
No,
no?
because I don't even know how to cook, and that's kind of how
Okay.
it started. Like
Mm-hmm.
usually, like you said, your parents or your grandparents are the ones who teach you how to cook, but that
Right.
wasn't the case for me. So I just started collecting all these recipes from friends and family members.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, well, where do I do with them now? Because every time I cook, I need them, you know? So
Right.
I think this is a great way to store them. And
Mm-hmm.
I might start a cooking channel with
Mm-hmm.
not me cooking, but I'll be filming.
Right.
And if I do write another book, maybe it'll be a children's book.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because your grandchild is how old?
He is 6 months.
Okay, 6 months. Oh, he got a minute. So
Yeah, yeah.
he has a minute. So we are going to talk a little bit about we talked a little bit about some of the technical stuff. So your website, it's on Etsy. They can purchase the recipe book on Etsy, on your Etsy website. So tell us a little bit more about your other products, or what you're doing on your product line.
Okay. Well, like I didn't grow up with any biological family, so I basically embrace everybody I meet as family. And I feel like, you know, we have one creator, we're all in this together. So I'm here to support the family. And
Right.
so my products are designed to basically keep loved ones connected. I
Mhm.
have some beaded bracelets and family fashion, and then the Not Your Average Granny's hand-me-down recipe book
Mhm.
once my online boutique launches. But as of now, you can just find the recipe book on my NYA Granny store on Etsy.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Macara. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you so much.
It's so
And
nice
you,
to meet you.
you are my first recipe book person.
Yay!
Yay! And what we will do, if you ever decide to do another recipe book, let me know and I will have you back on. Um, I just did another interview with my sister-in-law, and she actually does uh hairstyles to for the stars. So she was my first hairstylist. And you
The
my
first are so exciting,
you're
right?
the first. You are the first. So I
Well,
really
thank you.
appreciate
It's
you,
been an
Mac.
honor.
I really do. And I will let everybody know her information will be in the description below. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank
Bye.
you. God bless.
Hey everyone, I wanted to thank Macara for joining me for this episode of Nita Nae's Books, Author's Point of View. See you next week. Bye-bye.